The reason that I chose to come forward so publicly with my name and my identity and the details of my abuse was because I was convinced for 16 years that the only way to stop Larry was not only to be able to get control of the narrative from Larry and from the institutions that were surrounding him, but also from law enforcement.
That was Rachel Den Hollander, one of the survivors of sexual abuse at the hands of former USA Gymnastics team Dr. Larry Nassar. A lengthy investigation by the Justice Department has revealed that the FBI grossly mishandled the sexual abuse allegations against Nassar. The almost 3-year-long probe into the FBI shows that officials made false statements and failed to properly log complaints from accusers, among other things. The 57-year-old disgraced doctor and sexual predator is serving a 40 to 174-year prison sentence in a Florida prison. More than 150 women and girls say that Nassar sexually abused them over a 20-year-long period. In 2017, Nassar pleaded guilty to numerous crimes, including, of course, criminal sexual conduct and possession of child pornography. The FBI releasing a statement saying that the actions of those named in the DOJ's report were, quote, inexcusable and a discredit to this organization, end quote. The FBI also says it will take whatever steps are necessary to prevent something like this from happening again. An attorney for more than 150 Nassar survivors issued a statement calling for the FBI agents involved in the investigation to be criminally charged. We have a very special guest joining us on the program today. You've seen her before here on Court TV giving trial analysis for us, attorney Sarah Klein. Sarah is not only an attorney, she's also a victim's advocate, spends a lot of time advocating for legal reform, especially for sex abuse and child abuse survivors. And Sarah's also a very talented athlete. She is a former competitive gymnast and a survivor of Nassar's abuse. Sarah, thank you so much for making time for us on the program today. And our viewers should know you're on vacation, and this is so important to you. You agreed immediately when we asked you to come on and speak about this, taking time away from your family and loved ones to talk about something so important. So thank you kindly.
Absolutely, Julie. I will always say yes to Court TV. It feels like home to me, and you have been so wonderful and sensitive about this issue. I will always say yes.
Oh, well, we love talking with you, Sarah. You were just incredible. I can't applaud you enough for your courage, your bravery, and you were just a real inspiration. And I want to just first get your reaction to what you thought when you saw this report come out this week and all of our jaws dropped at the FBI's gross mishandling of these allegations. What went through your mind, please?
Yeah, it feels like another massive and devastating violation in this story, right? And I keep seeing this called a failure. This was not a failure. A failure is when you lose a file or contaminate some evidence. This was a proactive act of lies and corruption. These were adults charged with upholding the law, but they chose, again, proactively to break the law and to sacrifice what we now know to be 120 more little girls who were abused by Nassar who never should have met him. They were abused after the FBI knew that Nassar was a pedophile and was actively abusing children. So I think the word failure does not do this justice. It was far worse than a failure. This was proactive lies and corruption.
Wow. Sarah, would you say it was a cover-up?
Oh, absolutely. And this report is over 100 pages, and it demonstrates almost on every page another layer to the cover-up, another level to the cover-up, right? And in the fact that the Indianapolis federal agents never picked up the phone to call Michigan, where Nassar was employed and working with gymnasts and working with children and actively abusing children there, it's shocking, right? And it was a cover-up. And we know that Agent Jay Abbott was in talks with the president at the time of USA Gymnastics, Steve Penny, was going to help Jay Abbott get a job, when he retired from the FBI. Those emails are out there, and so it was sort of if you sweep this under the rug, then I'll help you get a job with the Olympic Committee when you retire from the Bureau. So if that's not the definition of cover up, I don't know what is.
Oh, Sarah, it's sickening. I mean, it is really, really sickening, just adding insult to injury. Knowing what you know about everything that occurred and what you've personally experienced, when you hear about this and what the FBI did not do to stop this and to prevent other people from suffering, what do you want to see happen?
Yeah, so you know me, Julia. I like to look at the silver lining, and I like to be sort of the eternal optimist, because the other choice is to, sort of curl up in fetal position, and not be able to affect change. So I will note that there have been some very heroic actors in this story. Senators Blumenthal and Senator Moran in Washington have been with us every step of the way. Senator Blumenthal looked me in the eyes some years ago when I was at Congress for a hearing, and he said, "Sarah, I will not be yet another adult who fails you. You have my word on that." And he has kept true to his word, as has Senator Moran. And they released some very scathing, critical statements this week about the FBI and about the fact that you get to page 100 and whatever in this report. In conclusion, we are not pressing charges against any of these people. We have shown you and demonstrated how they've lied, they've hid things, they've covered things up. Yes, that's all true, but no one is going to be held to account for that. And so it's our hope that Senators Blumenthal and Moran hold congressional hearings, that not only these bad actors are hauled in front of Congress and questioned, but the people who made the decisions, the Department of Justice, the United States Attorney General's office, that made the decisions not to indict anybody, are questioned by Congress, and potentially they change their minds.
Right, right. And you have worked tirelessly for years, and you deserve to be recognized for all of the work you've done in advocacy and trying to make legal reform happen. You're one of those people taking a proactive approach, and yes, you are so positive and a leader, and a big leader in this movement. Sarah, you were just so highly regarded as an attorney, as a mother, as a friend. For anyone watching this program, they should feel very inspired and empowered, by you, and seeing how you have turned, such a situation into something that can help so many other people and leave a legacy that matters. I want you to share for our viewers just some of the things you've done and places you've traveled and things you've done to create those legal changes to protect children in the future.
Absolutely. My 5-year-old, if you ask her what does mommy do for her job, she says, "Mommy keeps children safe." And it's amazing. And the way I do that is sort of going state to state and working on statutes of limitations. We know that the average age of reporting child sexual abuse is 52 years old. That's been proven by lots and lots of research. And the reason for that is the shame, the confusion, the substance abuse that survivors turn to when they're trying to suppress the pain of what's happened to them. And so if we know that, and research has shown that, why do laws favor perpetrators in giving survivors a tiny, tiny window of time to report what happened to them? And I want laws to reflect the premise that whenever a survivor of child sex abuse is ready to come forward, that they should be met with laws that support them. And so I'm working state to state to get those statutes extended, to get those statutes hopefully abolished. And it's much more difficult than you would think. You would think this is a nonpartisan issue. And unfortunately, that's not necessarily the view of many politicians. And the reason for that is money. All roads lead back to money and liability, right? And so It's a lot harder than you think. I don't stop. I have no fear left in me. I've been through far too much to have fear or to mince my words. So I speak out and I'm loud. And I want all survivors watching this to know all of us go through times where we don't feel strong. This week for me was one of them, which is why this is really the only interview I'm doing. But there are people like me that are going to dust myself off and get back up, and I'll speak for you, and I will fight for you, and my team fights for you every single day. And so know that while some view this as a setback, I view it as a challenge, and I love a good challenge.
Well, you are making a difference, Attorney Sarah Klein, and we are honored that you're joining us and giving us your time on this issue that it is so personal and so painful.